In my last video, I introduced Kelly, a 21-year-old from London that did the same as me. Packed a couple of bags, bought a one-way ticket, and came to Thailand. However, what took me 47 years, she did in 21. If you haven't seen the first video I did with her, the link is in the description. And also, here's a brief intro from that video.
And then sometimes you get to meet new friends. This is my friend Kelly. I ended up joining her for dinner with this stunning, smart, independent woman.
I came over to Thailand a month ago. I just want to see the world.
Do you have a definite stopping point when you go back, or you're open-ended?
It's open-ended.
Listen to that.
So I'm a life coach.
A life coach.
Yeah, I basically coach people through different things in their life. I help them to get to where they want to be themselves.
And now, meeting Kelly part 2.
You've got a laid-back approach. You're really, literally approachable. I walked up to her on the beach and then ended up joining her, like I said, for dinner, and we just sat around talking. I said, well, you're doing the same thing. You're just kind of wandering around the, world doing your own thing, which is ballsy for a lot of people my age to even consider getting out of their rocket chair, their recliner at home, and getting a passport. Most of them were just sitting there looking and just going, I want to do it, maybe I'll do it next year, maybe, excuses.
Yeah, this is the thing, like, you can always have excuses. Like, for me, like, people would look at me and say, but you're only 21 years old and you're a girl. Like, is that the right thing to be doing? Are you safe? Like, are you old enough to be doing this? Are you experienced enough? Like, this is the first time I've traveled alone before out of my country, and I decided to go 11 hours across the world.
Sure.
If I'm gonna do it, I was like, I'm gonna go do it properly, but yeah, like there is always an excuse. Like, if you're old, then you might think like, oh, like,
who's gonna take care of the dog? I gotta keep up with this. Who's gonna pay the bills while I'm gone? Who's gonna cut the grass? There's always an excuse. I made a video one time. You can always find an excuse to not do something.
To not do anything, yeah. The reason why I actually wanted to become a life coach was because when I found out about life coaching, I was in this position where I had loads of people around me that like were depressed, they were holding themselves back in so many different ways. They were in their comfort zones, they didn't want to step out of it, and they were just so happy being miserable. Like that was like one of the biggest things for me.
Their crutch.
Yeah, and then for me it was like I wanted to be able to help these people, and then I started finding some people who I could help, and I was like, wow, like this is what I really love doing. Like I love being able to help the people that do want the help, because you can't have a solution to a problem that you're not willing to have. You can't have a solution to a problem that you're not willing to have.
That's true. It was a complicated sentence right there. No, I get it. Yeah. And people need to, from my personal beliefs, you need to embrace when someone gives you advice. You don't have to agree with them, but at least consider it. I mean, it's your job that people are signing up for. But a lot of times, like as a friend, I'll give someone advice, and you might not want to listen to me, but I see it from my eyes differently than they do. And they see themselves stuck, or they see themselves as, they see all the weight on their shoulder, and I see the solution that they don't see, which is kind of like what you do.
Yeah, well, this is the difference between like having a friend give you the advice and having paid coaching, because when you've got paid coaching, you've invested your money into that, so you want to get something out of it. You're not going to just listen to their advice and be like, okay, maybe I'll take it, maybe I won't.
Yeah, I wish Kelly keeps whining to me about traveling all the time, you know.
Like, because you've paid for that, you've invested into it, you want to get something out of it, so you have no choice but to try and embrace these ideas and to take it on board. So it's like your own way of committing to your growth, if that makes sense.
It does make sense.
Yeah, if you're getting a coaching from a friend, or a family member, it's not going to be the same advice that you would be able to get if you're getting one from a coach. It's not going
to be unbiased.
Yeah.
Friends and family, they have, unfortunately, well, they have their best needs, but they're biased.
Yeah. Right. Because like they'll always be using their own personal experiences, relaying their own personal beliefs, their own fears onto you. Whereas with me, like I've done the research and I understand the way to be coaching somebody for their own personal needs and their own personal gain.
And you said you had your own life coach?
Yeah, and I have my own life coach because it's so amazing to be able to have that person that helps you. Like, that's the reason why I've been able to step into my power so quickly and so like fast, and it's all spiraled so well because
To your own power.
Yeah.
When she says power, it's not like she's Superwoman. Even though she looks like Wonder Woman, I knew what she meant by that. You got your power. It was just like power.
No,
You know?
yeah.
So at a younger age, you found yourself helping people just naturally. So you did more research on life coaching, and now you're there.
Yeah, so I met different life coaches, and then I actually got one of my own. So I don't believe that anyone needs a life coach. Like, this is a very fundamental thing. Like, nobody needs one, but like I have one because it's such a great thing to be able to have for yourself.
Nobody needs a Lamborghini, but sometimes you want one.
Exactly.
Sorry, I used to love Lamborghinis. So like when I was in America, and I kind of knew things were coming to an end for me at my job. I sort of knew, and I also knew my relationship had come to an end. So I was struggling with that, struggling with the thought of ending it. So I told my best friend, I just put it out there. I said, if I lose my job, I'm going to go to Thailand just to try it, which was my own coaching to me to kind of seal the deal, so that someone could, if I didn't do it, they would just say, oh, Rob talks all this talk, but I actually did. But I know if I would have met someone like you, and we would sit down and talk every now and then you would have probably just said, why not? You know, or you would have coached me in your own way. I don't know what you would have said. But I was, again, using my friends as a life coach, or as a coach. But basically, I was trying to get them to hold me accountable for what I was going. So that's what you do. So when someone tells you what they truly want, you sort of hold them accountable to fulfill their own prophecy, destiny.
Yeah. So yeah, like what you did, like without even realizing it, like it's basically like a form of like manifestation. Like, I know manifestation sounds like a hokey pokey term, but like it's literally just setting something as your target and deciding that that's something that you can get, and then you align your actions and your words through like micro movements to just get to that goal. And because of like the way that things went, like you'd already decided in your mind that this is something that you could do, so it ended up happening.
It was scary, guys. I'm not saying it wasn't scary. So I'm sure you get that a lot when you're helping someone and they say, well, you know, it's what they want to do is scary to them.
Yeah, totally. Like when I thought about moving out here by myself for like the first time, like obviously I could have decided to come out here for a little while, but I just bought a one-way ticket, and I've now booked a place for next month as well. So
you bought a one-way ticket as well?
Yeah. But like definitely I had these different thoughts like that came into my head, like how am I gonna, like what if I don't get the money coming through, what if I don't make friends out there, like what if this happens, what if that happens. Like there were so many different things that I could have thought about. These are all so normal, like they're so normal. Like it's actually a good thing that you're thinking this way even, because it's literally just like showing you that like these are all things that you can get past, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it's all just like normal thought process to go through. So like the only thing that you'll ever do that will stand in your own way is if you start believing in these things and like let them become an obstacle rather than just something that could be scary.
Right. And so you're taught your whole life, don't cross the street.
Yeah.
So you won't cross the street. Then one day someone like you comes along and says, you know, if you look both ways, you can cross the street. And you know, it's a really simple, basic example. And you got dark. There, the sun's changing on us. I'm sorry about that, guys. But I'm gonna put her Instagram down in the description. I'm gonna put her email in there. And if you want to get in touch with her and find out anything or whatever, feel free to.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I just want to be able to help people to be able to change their lives in the way that they want to. So.
And what I'm gonna do, if you guys want me and her to do a follow-up, we've already talked about how we could do a remote follow-up. Like if you give a lot of questions in the comments and I read them, if you don't want me to forward them to her, then she and I can have a, wherever you end up being, Bali or wherever you end up, we can do a call and answer some more questions then.
Yeah, totally.
And better lighting. As you get older, it becomes more and more difficult as you gather stuff to pick up and just, you know, travel all over the place. So right now, it's good for you to experience the world, which you can do later on. Now you've seen it, or maybe you guys haven't. You got to get over here and meet people like this. Say,
It's very true.
let's say bye. Guys, we'll see you later. Kelly, thank you for showing up today.
Thank you for having me.
She's only got a few more days left here in Phuket, and then you're off and about. But
I'm off to the other side of Thailand. I'm going to spend a week in Koh Samui, Koh Phangan, Bangkok, and then see where the world takes me.
deal. Bye.